So, I was thinking about this. This is a real simple thought process. These are engines that I produced a while back, like 2-3 years ago or something like that, as like a concept. Produced a concept here. It's an idea. Can you imagine fast, hard, loose, anything? Can you imagine? How good are you at following like basic, build up to the whole fucking shebang? All the little bits and bobs until eventually it's all good. Now, see, granted, I'm walking my dog Phaser here because I'm being a dick about this. Because I want to. Come on, Phaser. Come on. It's like, all right, so like these are pumps. This is a radial, right, rotary turbine. So it's like it intakes it for the hollow, right? Shaft, axle guy. It's like there's some two-stroke engine holes here. This bearing type, like connection rods. They're like spokes. They're hollow too. They got like this liquid going around. They're like torque converters. You know what I mean? There's these big old trunkazoids. They're not really, but like you kind of feel like they are. Anyways, they're further away from the center, and they counter rotate. And so they go boom, 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 boom. Fuel, air. There's fuel coming in from the fucking center, basically. You know what I mean? The hydraulic fluid, it's all like, hey, here's a clutch. He goes, gets it going, spins up that fucking axle faster. Along with, of course, the bearings. Now, see, the bearings are actually attached here with this thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're called gears. Have you ever heard of these things? I explained it in this other, clearly, already everybody's watched it so many times, video. Right? I went over it quite a bit more, massively longer amounts. So, like, that means you clearly watched it because you have all the time in the world to watch things. It's right? No, I don't, bitch. Well, explain it now. Oh no, this will just be forever, like going on for, it'll be like hours and hours and hours and hours. Maybe you can just watch that video instead. Anyways, the basic concept is very similar. I haven't really changed it much. Be fair, like the spokes then rotate. Now, where they're connected, of course, that means it's like, Thor's hammer is what you'd imagine. No, they're just big circles already connected. Yeah, they're like, big old spoke wheels, wooden spoke wheels, that kind of thing. Just cut pretty easily, get pretty close together, Like they go in and because I'm curving at this radius here. Right, this slope angle means that they pass through at these moments exactingly perfectly. And then they seal themselves as a result of the change of these outcroppings, which is what some people, I call them stators. Oh my God, did it change its angle relative to something else as it moved and rotated? Well, it didn't technically rotate, but it did move. I suppose it did rotate because, of course, it's rotating with a circle. So I suppose it did rotate. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Still, spicy. Uh-oh. Oh no, how does the holes not to be with the seals of the fucking side with the, what is that, a turny-majig? Yes, like a transmission, perhaps? You suck. You ever had a crankshaft turn and be sealed? No, they don't exist. They fail all the time. We've never had better ones. They don't exist. They don't exist. They just simply can't. Why? I don't know. What? No, you can't have that all with the counter. So these ones are attached and this one isn't attached. It rotates the other way. There's the Lemke turbine too with the cool Buick Riviera, I think is what it's there. Yeah, that's a different one. It just uses the blade. Now they're curved almost like sickles, and so they go, and then they go, and then they fire off into this other chamber over here, which isn't actually the chamber, it's just the blades, and then you go whoosh, kind of like these windmills, you splonk them down into the ground, little tiny guys. In plastic, they do this cool geometric design where they start off kind of small and they go compress and then burn and then they expand as they go upwards from the center, axle area towards the outer edge, and they get wider and they perform action, like work energy of some sort, like more leverage perhaps. Anyways, there's this really cool thing called like a pump in the center. Is that a pump? You've never heard of these things. They're called like front and rear pump towards center. They're like screw auger like, contraptions, you know what I mean? They have like these kind of areas of holes in them, so that way as air comes in towards the center, it goes up, towards these places, to these hollow blades that are cast and then plated with ceramic. Is that aluminum? You got some aluminum over there? No, get out of here, you. Oh, is that also in my fucking video too for that one? What? No way. Guess what? Oh no! Break it down. Burns. What is this spark over here? And you sprayed mechanical, but then you have an electrical, and it can slide like valves. For what are those bump stops for? Like dog fighting rigs, you know what I mean? You gotta shoot some people down. Standard stuff, boom. Camshafts. You ever heard of them? I guess you have heard of them. Crazy. Well, there's that. Anyways, they all like, hey, spray around this, roughly, but it's like, hey, don't worry about it. I got this whole like electrical connect. You ever heard of these things? Brush motors, you could use them. You could also use non-brush motors. Oh no, my solenoid. My valve opens a little sooner, a little later. I spray a little bit more fuel, a little less. Spins faster, more fuel goes in, more pressure. Spinning slower, of course, you don't need as much fuel, there's not as much air. Wow! So it like self-balances. Yeah, man, like that's fucking awesome, right? It does work energy while it does that too. Fucking great shit, right? Here's some electric motors. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, they're electrically repulsive, blah, 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 field and flux, and what is that, an eddy thingy, it's like aluminum, right? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I resist going that way. Don't resist going that way. I go, like, I guess I'll just collapse this field as a current into this other thing over here. And it goes, boom, more voltage, more amperage, depending. Z-pinch, what did that do? It attracted these things over here. Would be terrible to do that. Wait, it's more efficient that way. Ah, my goodness. And then it cools it with, that's the turbine, though. That's not the radial rotary turbine. That's the spoke thing. See, the spokes are curved in such a way that they go like, I'm an ulna, I swear. I'm going to like just input this. It takes a little bit. It goes up to the rear here. It's got this parabolic spike, curvy guy. It goes all the way up towards the front. It sucks it back in. It's like, I only need this amount of pressure. That's what that is. I'm just going to get a big old volume whoosh, from the rear, just recirculate that. You know what I mean? Yeah, closed loop recirculation. I would never use that. Oh, wait. You can't use this for rocket engine pumpies. Well, I can use this fuel over here and that fuel over here, and I do a little pre-burn mixy thing. No burns yet, though, until it goes up to this kind of area. Remember that counter-rotating turbine guy? Yeah? Yeah, well, that would be really good for this. Oh my God, do you have a regenerative cooling jacket? No! I could never use such a fucking brilliant idea! And what is this? A turbine after it goes exhausty side of things, the shroudy guy, as it goes off towards a given direction. My spinny fucking oil bearing, you suck! With the not connected to the outside. Of course, the outside. Where's these stators coming from? That can twist a little. You! Have you been destroyed? Come back later. We're going to cool this off. It's going to be okay. We're just capturing all this energy into work energy, which of course then does the whole pumpy-wumpy actions. Why even use axle when pump do trick? Just fire in fluid. Have housing be not even axle. Isn't that wonderful? Right? Nothing like good old fashioned. It's regular stuff, standard regular. Everybody already knows that I already built these concepts easy all day. Fuck you. Fuck you, huh? I gotta fuck you from this dummy. I get some piezoelectrics in there now. I had some magnets too. I'll just, put a couple batteries up in here, smaller ones, like gram size level motherfuckers, series parallel it up. They're actually structural supportive members with these capacitor like things. Would be a shame if I also cooled it with the fluid fuel. That would be, oh no, are there microwaves, electron beams, and plasmas that utilize what is this? Attractive and repulsive pumpy-wumpy action magnetohydrodynamic Lorentz force. Oh no! My electrostatic forces combined! What is that? Dielectric fluid? What? You don't have liquid oxygen? It's, what? You don't have Bernie stuff? Have you ever seen this mineral oil just throw itself around like Hyperspace Pirate showed itself off to do? With these ginormous fucking voltages. Whoosh! No, look. Look at my amperage for Z-pinch current. It sure would be a shame if, whoops, DC and AC alternate depending on which way it's going. Okay, wait, that makes it more efficient as a pumpy-wumpy action, as it Bernie worms. It will assemble! Pumping! It's fun though, for what it's worth. Because I stayed around for a couple of minutes, and I skipped forward, and then I just read the transcript because I hate you. I don't want to give you a full fucking view. I downloaded it. No, it's now a part of the AI public data scraping I did. What? No. Get out of here, you. I read it, though. Yeah, thanks. I still need 1,000 subscribers to start getting some ad revenue. They still don't know about that, huh? I will never subscribe to you, and I'll steal all of your ideas. And I'll steal them from other people, and their comment section that you might be in there, commenting on those videos. And that way, I came up with it myself, and it's just similar-minded folks. I'll never credit them on another person's video that I got the comment from that actually made it so that I came up with an idea. No, that would totally not be the case. Are you sure? Anyways, yeah, you just input fucking air and fuels and so on, They're not hypergolic. And then they spread outward from center out, so it presses into the shields of the housing better, which that would sure. Oh, wow, so you time where and how it comes out at various intervals. Yes, or the same area consistently, depending on what you want to do. It's only this one, and it burns from here, and it goes through another compression burn, and it expands, and blah, 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 blah. It's like this expanding anal bead almost, like contraption. As weird as that might sound at first, and yet, it's true. It's like an expanding fractal. No! I would never want to use expanding fractals for geometric mathematics. No! Why not? Imagine you went like, that fucking wrecked me. I'm in the Truman Show. Whole face and everything, I mean, anyways, point is, Jim Carrey style, Ace Ventura over here. This that kind of stuff, Anyways, it's like, all right, well, that works. Yeah, oh yeah, no. From one direction, except you can use two. You all have it join in with the parabolic, what is this? An axle that combines the two of the axles together. That would be terrible. It's all in one, much smaller, less complicated, far more fucking sealed. For both of the designs. Sure would be a shame if they added that very hot mixture into this, what is this? Chamber mixer thingy with some electricities of a plasma. And then there's like these stators over here. What? What is this? A hollow teardroppy shape into this bell curvy big bell thingy at the end. This like hollow arrow spiky kind of guy shaped like a teardrop of stators there that are hollow, and I need to cool it with this fluid that's cold. And then I can just like burp it out, kind of like a carburetor under pressure, so it boils away for the fuel return. Burn! Uh-oh. There are overhangs, channels, vortex inducers. Yeah, lots of stators on the inside that happen to introduce vortexes that are kind of shaped like these waves, you know what I mean? They overhang, they have this little tip curve to them. That would be terrible, wouldn't it be? Just like it causes it to curve, and then you can join in from the one previously of this offset channel, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's going this way, and then in between those two this ways, there's this offset right in between, halfway. You know what I mean? Sure, it'd be a shame if there was some fuel suddenly popping up in there in this oxygen-rich environment. Yeah. Would be a shame. Boom. Dead. I guess it, continuously burns more air and fuel in there. What is this? Dielectric fluid that somebody was talking about? Nothing like some good old-fashioned electrostatic action with, what is this, light produced and reflections? Does it heat it up too? Does seem to be. Goes bang it rang rang rang. Kinetic, optical, tweezing, inertial confinement, but only one direction. Everything's going that way and nothing is actually getting confined. Accelerate! Do the acceleration now! Do it! Accelerate! Get higher! Go faster! Align yourselves! Yes! Align yourself and go faster. Do it now. There you go. It does it. It goes like, hey, I've got some electricity over here. Yeah, no, I got you, bruh. Get away. Stupid oppositely charged plasmas. Fucking needing electricity. Don't come back again. Oh no, my ionic engine that uses plasmas for ionic exothermic reaction at very high velocities. Oh, yeah, that would be terrible. No, I didn't think it was. Personally, myself. Look how fast I'm going. Guess what? I'm also doing this thing called air be all like burning, y'all. Sure, it'd be a shame if a explosive decomposition, no gas, would be introduced. With all this electricity, I'm sure there's a double oxygen in there. Sure, it'd be a shame if, actually, that's a really good idea. Not shameful in the slightest. I'm just gonna add that bitch in like a ram scram when you go fast enough. Sure would be amazing to watch it fly. Uh-oh. Detonation velocities? No! My weakness! At nearly the speed of light. Don't worry, I'm just going to heat up all the air. That's what it's really for. It's just put more air in. Goes really super fast. Bernoulli principle, high vacuum, effects. Goes into the, of course, super fast velocity air coming out. High specific infalls, utilizing the air to then burn the fucking shit out of it, to turn into no soot having motherfuckers that absolutely destroy your concept of having to deal with any of this be a bad thing. Well, I guess you'll have to suck it up, huh? No, not more mass volume at incredibly high specific impulse speeds. Yes, force equal ma squared. Still, it doesn't matter how hard you try. The answer is it's still F equal ma squared. The force for your specific impulse is still this. No! Even though it works out to being exactly the same thing. This is indeed, no matter how hard you try, liar, liar, pants on fire, the same equation. Look, there's an acceleration square here for velocity. There's a given mass. The force is just a Newton meter. Oh, is it? Well, you don't say, huh? F equal ma squared still. Wow. It's really high. Now, granted, I'm just utilizing, what is that, atmosphere? You don't have that, do you? Can you go faster? Well, yeah, I could always get more volume, I suppose, the faster I go. No! That's impossible. They said it couldn't be done. Look how small my engines are. Oh, I'm sorry, they're pumps, that's right. There's no such thing as an engine that's an air pump, is it? No. Oh, no? Oh, okay. The answer is no. No entry ignition from the exhaust or anything. What is this, a hypergolic almost like activity? Burn! Wee-woo, wee-woo. Here's the ambulance, burn word. Over there, intensive care unit. Guess you'll just get over there somehow. Can never move. It's an infinite density of fields and particles. No vacuums, no nothings. Nothing at all can move anymore. Good old quantized space-time. Good stuff. That doesn't really work, though, does it? No! Can't quantize nothing, says you. As if. Pears thought. Nuh-uh. Meanwhile, me proceeds to do it anyways, not care. No! My nothingness, not quark, force carrier, not force carrier. What the fuck is this? Take a look at the fucking post on my YouTube and Tumblr and Reddit. Yeah. No! Not again! He's done another banger! Yeah, I know, but anyways, I was all like, I'll just suck it in and squeeze it and bang it and blow it out, you know what I mean? Anyhow, like I do with all calculations ever. Suck in energy. I always thought that was information. Yeah, binary style, 1-0, stuff like that. Voltage not there, there it is. No. Potential fields. Oh, goodness. Great googly fuck-olies. With the moogles. Oh, goodness. I'm writing fucking super. There's a vacuum now. This is not vacuum pressure. It's different. But yeah, no, that aligns things because there needs to be energy that goes into this spot. That's called vacuum pressure. Given direction. But they're like, no, you've been taught wrong. Correct. Yeah, you. Only the force coming in is measured. No. That's not how that works. You stupid cunts. I hate you so much. Yeah, and the new Nazis, huh? How are they doing? It's terribly great. Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. Super. Yeah. That's you guys. I refuse and refute all given information. Contrary to what I prefer as my big group of people, that we are all together in a mob, false belief system of believing that this is correct. Believe this to be correct. Isn't that momentum? And it takes really a lot to somehow manage to change it. It's not very large. No, this spread out. It's very low density. But, I suppose if you get it fast enough, it's like voltage. You have amperage versus voltage. Like really strong, volts. Yeah, it tends to fuck things up really hard. It's still force equal ma squared, last I checked. But, if you do an average many of them, and they all seem to arrive somewhat roughly close together, like mini small 22s all of a sudden arriving at once, in one spot. As you laugh, of course. And yet, it does do a lot of damage, doesn't it? Well, I suppose it does do. Hey! No, my Bernoulli principle's E-pinch current! Oh, no! It shears off as it grabs some more ions and yanks them in this Hall effect-like manner towards the given material that is there, experiencing large fucking amounts of ions going through it in an almost electron beam-like fashion. No, that's not allowed. That's called Lemke principles. Guess you're gonna have to deal with it. My math better than your math. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now? That is not allowed. Newtonian physics says it is. You suck! There's a vacuum here. No! There's force carriers of a vacuum information. You dick! There's the nothingness coming in. Ow! You can't know that. That's already been observed. You suck! You observing using my observations and then changing how it was interpreted because it couldn't more informational context and variable. It's been quantized. Sorry, bitch. Suck it up. Hey! Hate to be you, loser, since you turned it into a debate instead of a discussion. No. Hate you. Oh, boo-hoo, somewhere else. I'm going with my big old ginormous space penis to the fucking orbit, to the moon. Panspermia time! Let's go. Fucking what? Yeah, I know, right? That's what it looks like to me. I'm gonna go colonize another fucking planet. Got this idea of like, who is more likely? Well, obviously, it's women more likely. I'll fucking defeat you, bitches. I'll get the biggest space penis there ever will be. Like, oh, I mean, it's efficient enough and they're paying, and I don't care. I'll make it. I don't care at all. It works, and that's all I need. It's got vacuums in it, and it pumps itself peristaltically to very high altitudes and speeds. Oh, wait, what is this? Burn more fuel. What? Yes, air goes in, and it turns into a plasma with these quartz tubes I've got. Then eventually, until I'm no longer with the air, I go, and I stored fuel on board, and here's my pumpy wumpies. Indeed. No, you can't have tanks on a ship. Okay. Why? Because, fuck you! That's why! What is this? Seminal fluid vesicles here that store large amounts of fluid ejaculate my suction cup area of my flying dildo. Fucking... It's just a cylinder! That's all it is, remember? It's just... Wasn't me though. But man, that meme sticks so well. I love it. It's so fucking hilarious. Yeah! It's just a cylinder. Trust me, I mean, the ball sack area testicle point that you happen to have to stay inside of next to the other fuel tank, which has to be moved over to this area as the shaft then, seals off, of course, and then, creates a bunch of rooms of this kind of, what is this, a hive, skyscraper-like kind of thing, where all the rooms can be connected in multiple ways, thus reducing the total amount of volume, but increasing strength. Oh no! Well, Well, I also have these stators, and I keep a little bit of this, air along with me as I vibrate it towards the front, and I surf my own wave up to a higher altitude. But there's always a given amount of resistance, as it expands. Bang it, rang, bang, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, what? No, not acoustic, thermoacoustic resonance pumping in front of us to build up greater and greater amounts of air. And then why do you keep it with you? Ah, yes, there's an electromagnetic and electrostatic field, along with capturing charged particles and the electromagnetic field extensions and the light admittance that, of course, we can emit together with all this, what is this, lasers and reflective. We have this big blooming peacock, kind of like sun behind us, as it's a solar shield that has a lot of solar panels that rode along with us along the shaft of said fuselageal penis, if you will, cylinder place. Then this dildo suction cup happened to extend outwards, happening to increase the efficiency, sir. Yes, massively. Look how large and in charge the duck. Nope, it's not duck, it's dildo. Dildo fine suction cup. It's not a suction cup. You're right. It just looks a little bit like it. Now I can fire out the front, where the head is, or the cup, if you want it to be. Granted, that it's a little bit more higher velocity, I'll say. Get that specific impulse up, and you get to use less. Granted, of course, it can undulate to make sure that it can move a little better. This acoustic resonance pumping like action cause it to turn in one given direction or another, based upon the stiffness in a given direction and so on. And how it happens to move the air and then recapture it. Back in the circuit, the North and South Pole, if you will, with this ginormous solar shield, which, why would I have this solar shield? With these tips that are kind of like angle waveguides to the light. Well, certainly wouldn't want any micrometeorites or nebula gases or anything like that getting in the way of our time together. What is that? Charged particles? What? Boom, 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 boom. With any of these light waves of sorts that are in a coherent fashion, they happen to have multiple phasing of light waves arrive to exactingly the precise location of this thing, as I can sense it much further away than before. I am clear. Reality sword guy. Granted, mine is more of a club these days. I don't really have the bendy curvature lightsaber. Certainly not gray, if you will. Certainly almost like it's invisible and then you just die. What? Why did you switch to Star Wars? Why did you do this? Oh, hi there. Yes, because I wanted to, briefly. What is this, plasma? Fucking, that's the only way we can have these open hangar doors where somebody can just come in and then land without any connections? Well, really it's just an atmosphere. Charged aurora borealis and, regular atmosphere. Keeps recirculating, through the whole thing. That's kind of, positive, negative, like, and then that's a moving charged field. Produces its own electromagnetic field extension area, and then it's like, oh wow, I would never use all of the charged particles coming off the sun or any given star for extra energy. No, I would never do that. That would be terrible. What is this? Solar panels that are massive? Five cargo ships long, the hull width, 3 hull widths wide, 3 hull widths tall. Okay. Well, but that's extending. When it starts off, it's only one. It's a grower, guys. It's not a shower. It's a grower, okay? It's more than buoyant enough with vacuums and all the peristaltic pumping, which reduces the total amount of air, density. And so therefore, with the, what is this? Fuselage. So lifting body-like characteristic that happens to have these vein-like, what is that? Canard stator wing guys along the side. Certainly vortex inductions, as it trails off the rear, kind of almost like horsehair, but of course it's with the wind and these statically charged fields. That would be terrible. I wouldn't use the shape of like this penis cylinder fuselage like apparatus to vibrate forward the right way, pointed up, to allow for a wave to form. I allow for the cavitation behind me to collapse in a nice teardroppy-like manner as I produce a greater and greater amount of fucking force pressure forward, and then go boom, 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 to really get me to gain that big old altitude jump. The balls, of course, eventually elongate instead of being tightened up. And then, of course, they tighten up. As, of course, we're going to need that to get ourselves to lift that rear end as we go shoot ourselves forward into the shaft. Granted, we suck in a little bit of air on the way up to the higher plane altitudes of the, thermosphere here. Low Earth apple juice. No apple juice, bitch. This is altitude. Grab your tongue and start saying not asshole. You... No, you're an asshole. You suck. No, I don't. That's what I imagine a lot of you would be doing, because why wouldn't you be? I have trained mercilessly with many numbers and concepts. How did you come up with this? By being better than you and smarter than you and more intelligent than you and having more time. No. But it does look like I am. So why don't you shut the hell up? Debater. Anyway, what is it? Burning fuel. Now remember, the faster that we can get this, what is this? 99.9 something percent speed of light. So force can only go up based upon the mass of the given propellant once it's all basically at relativistic speed anyways. Well, yes. Yes, I can do that. Just say not that. Don't you say something else. No, I gained a lot of electricity for the peristaltic pumping and all the extra along the way for heat here. You can't gain heat from our atmosphere. Heat pumps, anyone? No. Solid state acoustic resonance phase changing Cooley actions. What is this? Piezoelectrics and thermal photovoltaic. It's actually a lot of things here. Yes. Plasma that go burr really fastified? Yeah. What did it phase change inside of the thing that's meant to burn anyways? Oh wait, is it not burning? So it never touches it because of light and magnetic and electrostatic effects? That sure would be interesting. Would these like little tip points be like, oh, I don't know, exerting influence on the gas? Oh no, bang, rang, rang, rang. Pressure waves that then blend in a baryonic to fermionic-like manner that could tunnel together into a fusional moment. Oh, jeez! That would be welcome to interstellar travel. Uh-oh, it can burn indefinitely. What is that, Jupiter? You got some more fucking gas for me, man? What do you got over there? Got some interstellar gases? Come on, give Poppy some fucking gases. I'm gonna make that my bitch. Ow! Ow! Yeah, they like a little whipping action to get them in order, you know? Just saying, stating the obvious. Standard stuff, you know. Quantum mechanics has never had a charm in top and bottom cork. There is no such thing as these things. Sex has never been involved in anything to do with astrophysics either. Never! Ever at all. What? I don't believe that in the slightest. Let me just take a look at nothing like that and just continue moving on. Anyways, it burns really fastified. Since they're both traveling at nearly relativistic speeds here, and then they go really fast, and then they blend together, and then they burp themselves out. It's almost like there's a corona mass ejection constantly happening just the right way, what is that, interstellar media? Oh my God, the circuit of my, what is it? The atmosphere? No, it cannot be. It's not allowed. Well, it says you, bitch. I'm going to continue using that endothermic phase change reaction. Wait, what? There's an endothermic reaction inside of the hollow nature of all of these panels that are connected together here, which then happen to use the charge to help increase, along with this light, the lowered reduction here of the energy required to produce the said endothermic reaction. It cools everything down. No, not my engine cooling and my fuselage cooling. Oh no. I recirculate some gases out, and it goes bang, rang, 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 cleaving action. Guess what? Synthetic and bioreactors in a system almost like our gut and lungs and heart, pumping things around and utilizing that energy to, of course, create a biological biodome terrarium-like system with multiple redundancies. Oh no! And it even produces food. I don't have to do fuel. It's really just for nature, and a long mission like that, years with no fucking radiation whatsoever going inside, and charged particles ever going inside, or micrometeorites whatsoever to worry about, or really pretty much anything bad. Seems like. Of course, you don't know unless you go. Who's ready? I am. We're talking about pumps here. That's not allowed. You can't change this to like fucking let's go. Why not? Slowpokes. Why not? Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. See, I'm good to go. Are you? Obviously not. No, please, though. I don't want to go treading water, are we? No lifesaver for you, huh? Well, yeah, I suppose America's always been an interesting sort of place, making everybody feel hopeless, so that way they do anything they tell them to do. Turns out we often have all the technology to make it so we don't ever have to do that. An interesting sort of thing. Anyways, this one's just one of my ideas. It's a little retooling to some of the basics of the design to allow for this to work better for the temperatures involved and speeds involved and pressures involved, but all doable. Isn't that wonderful? Burns, gives me electricity, gives me lots and lots of good, proper types of heat. I have a huge amount of convection and circuit and work energy as I continue flying through a space atmosphere almost of charged particles. It's almost like I've got all the energy I'll ever need and require to work. I can always blue shift and constructively interfere many things the faster I go to get all the light I'll ever need. It would be a shame if somebody used light-based and plasma-based computer transistor types. Those wouldn't happen to be also on my own YouTube channel. Oh, wait, yes, they are. Huh. Oh, crazy. I added Kyle Hill with that Magneto idea. There are others, of course. No! Yes. Yes! Mwahaha! You could go, you little pathetic cowards. You could make it happen. You are not one among us who has the confidence and desire to succeed and get away from their abusers and narcissists in their lives. And I am here always for you to join. But it is up to you to do the work and ultimately show up. Can't take you from... That would be illegal and wrong. Like kids in a bad parental relationship almost. They're not doing what you think. Emotional neglect and mental, not the same. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Don't leave me. I want to continue hurting you and abusing you and manipulating you. Yeah. Fucking Ridley ass Scott over here, this bitch. So I imagine his nasally ass voice would go. Snorts. That's what we have to deal with now. Fucking Ridley Scott, Baltimore. Continue hurting your tails. No! Why would I? I am believing that. How the fuck? What? I am doing things. Continue doing nothing and say it is something. Fuck off! I am doing stuff, and it is not nothing. Right now. See? You stepped over one side of this. That is not the same. You know what? It takes a little bit more work on this stuff to do it. Yeah. Want to help me? Come on. Come on. Get up. Help me. You. No. No, thank you. I don't want to do any of that. I'm afraid of all of them killing me out a window or poison or something. What are you, Russian? No, I'm American. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, look, I still have funding for right now. Remember? Yes, I do. Sure, it would be a shame, yeah. Yakuza is coming in too. Looks like Japan wants to join in on the mafiosos of the government. No? What? Oh, that's just a reference to something else. It doesn't really matter. Point is, nothing like joint operations, they say. So, to move forward, we're going to talk about how we have a particle accelerator in Texas that doesn't matter anymore. It's strange how Republican certain states get after certain very misogynistic people join in for highly specific technical science work that happen to have various spies join them for espionage-like activity in a propagandized manner in which to influence most of the people there. There wouldn't be like an FBI Hoover-like situation, right? Going on in certain places. Come on, phaser, let's go. I could never use phasings of pressure waves to tunnel things together more easily and break down the band gap frequency of tunnel fusion effects. Oh no, my neutron and neutrino collector that fuses them together by splitting them into quarks, acting as like a seed energy, if you will. No respect. I get no respect here. Oh my God, I get no respect. You know, it's not a very good impression. Just imagine I was Rodney Dangerfield for a second. He fought in a war last I checked. What do I know? Not like Bob Ross either, or others. It's a happy little accident, you know, collecting neutrons. Faster you go, of course, the more of them you hit. Sure, it'd be a shame if somebody did that, huh? Like me. You cannot have known what I was going to. You suck. I suck. What about you that didn't think about it beforehand? Suck my big ass balls, bitch, and my ginormous space wing. Because they're all rather phallic, anyways. To be fair. Oh my gosh, yeah. Aren't they always? Ginormous space wings. Mine would be the largest ever made. Ever, whatsoever, fucking ever. Wow! 5 cargo ships long. Oh, yeah. Not the hull, the actual length of the things. You know, averaging them out across the entirety of all of the world. And all cargo ships ever built. That's how I use that to calculate for hull size, height, you know, width, height, length. Well, yeah, so the height here is different than the width. You know, it's not a perfect cylinder, turns out. So, you know, that's the height there. Three of those heights. And that's how you average it. Yes, and I also have in my Escape Plan V2, I believe V1 as well, different classifications of sizes of ships from Titan to Leviathan goes from A to Z. 1, 2, 3. 3 being the least, 1 being the most, Z being the least, A being the most, Titan being the smallest, Leviathan A1 being slightly larger than the entire size of a moon. Our moon, specifically. Now, Titan Z3 here, of course, is actually still bigger than the Sears Tower buildings. Strung up 5, 5, so like 5 long, 3 wide, 3 tall, height, but they're square, so not really the same thing. Slightly larger by about a total of 500 by 500 by 1,000 meters. What, 1 kilometer longer and half a kilometer height and width-wise bigger. So there's that. Now, how much larger than the moon? Well, basically a circumference here of a circle by a multiplication of 1.002242%. Yeah, basically. Well, oh no! Yes, well, see, it's spinning and it's widthwise for the sphere here is wider, kind of like our Earth, for tidal forces and so on. But it's actually the, up and down axis. That perpendicular, or what is it again? Does anybody remember? Sound up in the comments if you remember what that is, because you didn't listen to this point, did you? Yes, I did. No, you didn't. You never got this far. You left. You're going to say it's not possible. And then others that did listen, hey, wow, it's not, because with a P of sorts, is it? Polar, perhaps? Is it? I thought it was polar, too. Well, anyways, the polar circumference. No, my sphere, it hath grown. Really? Well, anyways, you D1000 roll now. Yeah, that's not okay. Well, I contend that that's possible. Oh, really? Fuck off. Fine. So, God, that's a huge fucking Leviathan A1 class ship. Yeah, so that's just a ship. I just have to put fuel in it, furnish it, people, the biosynthetic reaction. There's a lot of shit in here. It's big. Fuck off if you think I'm gonna fucking... No. Behemoth, I think like J class was like the max, technically, you can achieve in any reasonable length of time, and they still have to get rid of certain planets or good chunks over the Earth, for what it's worth. Wait a second, I'm going to pee real quick. Alright. Yep. So, hubless and non-hubless, given turbines on the outer hull, which help pump everything too. Also capture that for extra energy. Same thing for how you ultimately dump it into the big, massive behemoth engine there. But of course, there's more to that for convection for the inside of a given spaceship like that, and peristaltic pumping, and all the given reactions and total surface area for increased solar energy collection and more. Oh my. For Leviathan A1, turns out quite a bit more possible than you wanted it to be, probably. No. Meanwhile, what are we talking about here? It's not even a Titan A1 or an A3. It's certainly no Titan A in anything. Yes, no, I said that, dummy. I said Z. I said Z. It's certainly not a Titan Z3 either. No, it isn't, is it? Wow, that makes it a lot easier to build, doesn't it? Oh no, what is this over here in the Pacific and or Atlantic Ocean? Perhaps just off the coast into international waters. With this buoyant vacuum hangar that uses buoys and water pumps utilizing air, resistance, and movement, and solar and heat, thermal. So that way it gets electricity and various, plastics from the ocean and the upper waters. Treat sewage. People pay us to take sewage off their hands, and is that garbage you have? Sure, it'd be a shame if, oh my God, a huge, massively large airship has appeared out of nowhere. It was super effective. Everybody wanted to talk about it as it went also up into the space. It's heading towards the moon. Panspermia. Let's go, babies. I wanted an entirely different design. I just have to fucking do this. It's quite penis-like. It's very penis-like. It's extraordinarily penis-like. My goodness. And an entirely different design. I'm going to move off of this. But, it's more likely that they'll go like, let's just try and true this, and also eyes on, and, get them fucking viral moments, that kind of shit. That kind of stuff that really does tend to work a little bit better, for the whole thing, typically. Terrible, am I right, folks? Am I right? You are somehow. Gonna go land over here at a polar area after falling towards the moon, and then dig into it, turn it into gases, various, metals, metalloids, elements, so on, start up the reactionary processes, dig an ant-like colony base inside of the very thing called the moon's, interior. What is that? Charged particles? Can I string up some hollow light tube, electrostatic, electromagnetic, dust go by, repulsive effect, nets of sorts, and solar collectors, and what do they also pump up? Oh, atmosphere and bio and synthetic fluid gas sort of things for a thermoacoustic manner of speaking pumping action. Well, it's almost like it's a thermosiphon. No, I could never use thermosiphons. That would be, but oh my God, it is. It's working. Even on the moon. Crazy. Well, I guess I'll just have to fucking make a biodome, underground, and, drill some holes for light tubes and fiber optic, constructive and destructive to constructive, which, do you know what this is? So as these number of photons of IR or whatever, and they go, I lose some amount of photons, but you know what, I gained more photons, even though there's less, than if I use the lanthanides. For this particular wave frequency, I'd like no lanthanides. No, none. That's right, there's certain highly specific electrical light emittance, phononic emittance, techniques of a crystalline, non-crystalline structure. Paper ink, LCD sort of things, layered in the right way for a Lemke phasing principle. Oh, joy! Well, the thermos would certainly not be useful for cleaving pumping actions for various chemicals going on, right? Inside of my bioterrarium, like construction of an ant colony inside of a given lunar moon near Earth, right? No, well, yes, I suppose it would be. Oh, so you'd be stupid to challenge me on that. I have challenged you. Yes, stupid person, you have. You skipped forward, did you? You didn't read anything before this? Go back. Go back to the beginning and listen to all of it. Do not read. Give me a like. Subscribe to me now. That is all you're allowed to do. That's it. That's all. Literally. Come on, Phaser. Gotta get going. Gotta get up to the top of the mountain before the light goes down. All right. See ya. That's the pumps, standard shit. Doot, doot, doot. I am up here at the top of the mountain. I just finished the recording for the Lemke engine rocket pumps. That's right. This is Flat Top Mountain, clearly. Still got light. Shock it! That's right. I'm at the end now. Yep. That's where the star is. That's where the end is. That's right here. You know, stand of shit. There was a bird there. It looked kind of like a falcon, but it's not there anymore. Could have just been an owl, though. I think there was an owl. I don't know. Point is, I went and saw down there and big old fucking elk. So there's that. I almost died from Pine Top, right after I got my meds. An elk just in the middle of the road went off to the left. I swerved over to her right. You know, I got these big chunky tires. Still managed to slow down more than well enough. Almost. I mean, it moved away. I wasn't going to really hit it. It wasn't close enough. I was probably going to be able to, like, just dodge that fucker. That's going to stay in the video. That's going to stay in the video, you know. Point is, I almost died. Didn't actually. Big chunky tires, 35 PSI. Around here, you know what that is? It's like 33 PSI. Really nice, actually. It worked out. My brakes are still good.